I'm going to give you some tips for post-lab 41, isomerization of a cyclic ketone. First question, you need to draw the structure of your product. Now, there's a big hint. This is telling you that this is an isomerization reaction. So you are going to look at the reactant. The reactant is carvone. The structure of carvone is given to you on page 338. And you are just reacting this carvone with sulfuric acid. So you have an oxygen atom in the presence of an acid. That's going to help you get started. And then you're just going to be drawing yourself a constitutional isomer of carvone. The book tells you that its formula is C10H14O, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 carbons. So they're all still there. The oxygen is there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. All 14 hydrogens are still there. You just need to come up with a new molecule. You are going to get a really big hint of this molecule when you look at the IR. Look for, what kind of functional group is present in your molecule. That's going to help you a lot. For the next problem on the post lab, you're going to be drawing what your book calls a reasonable mechanism. So you'll just, in this space, you're going to be drawing a mechanism for this conversion. You're not going to be able to do that until you have predicted the product of this reaction, or maybe the mechanism is going to help you predict the product of the reaction. In question number 2, it's asking you to derive the Iupac name of the product. Deriving means come up with it on your own. You might have a hard time coming up with the Iupac name all on your own, but you can look that up on the internet. So maybe you just look that up if you need help. You can always just type this molecular formula in until you find something that matches. And then once you have the Iupac name, you'll also want to look up the common name. You'll definitely want to look up the common name. And again, for nomenclature purposes, especially common naming, I really like Wikipedia. If you go to Wikipedia, search the Iupac name, there's going to be a bar on the right-hand side. It's got a lot of properties about that chemical, and one of those boxes inside this bar is going to be giving you a whole bunch of different names, including the common name for the molecule. Also, in problem number 2, part B, it's asking you to list some herbs that contain the product, and you'll find that on Wikipedia for sure. For purity, you're just going to be basing this off of the appearance of your IR. And then last but not least, the last thing you're going to do is one of these flow diagrams. So you're just starting with 2 reactants. That's it. And then you do the reaction. Here's your product. You're going to do a separation. So your product is right here, your byproducts, and your petroleum ether. And so it looks like after this initial separation, after the very first separation, you are adding another component. And so you're going to have to read through the procedure to figure out what this extra component is. This mixture right here, you're going to do a separation on. So all 3 of these things are being carried down. The book does tell you, and you will have experienced yourself, there is a little bit of a chemical reaction that takes place during this separation, but I'm not asking you to write that kind of thing down. So in these boxes, you're going to write down your product wherever it belongs. You're going to write down petroleum ether wherever it belongs. And then this substance, you're going to write it down as well wherever it belongs. You are going to be basically ignoring the fact that there is a little bit of a reaction happening. And then for these 2 boxes, you're going to do an evaporation. So you're just separating those 2 from each other. And that's it.